The day they buried Emeka, his mother served Ngozi pepper soup and called her Nwa my child. By the third day, she stopped calling her anything at all. Ngozi was folding her husband's shirts when she heard the gate. She didn't go down immediately. She thought it was another relative coming to eat her food and assess her furniture. When she finally looked from the balcony, she saw a woman standing in the compound with two small children pressed against her sides. The woman was not crying. That was the first thing Ngozi noticed. At a man's compound, 3 days after his burial, every woman cries, unless she has already finished crying somewhere else. "My name is Hawa," the woman said, when Ngozi came downstairs. "I was his wife, before you." The certificate was real. Ngozi could see that immediately. The date was 2007. Her own marriage was 2011. The room filled with relatives so fast, it was as if they had been waiting outside the walls. Emeka's brother Chukwuemeka was suddenly talking about the property and the proper way things are done. His mother, who had called Ngozi Nwa 3 days ago, was now looking at Hawa's children with an expression Ngozi could not read. Ngozi looked at Hawa. Hawa looked at Ngozi. Between them, on the floor, were two children who had grown up without their father present, and one woman who had slept beside a man for 14 years without knowing who he was. "Did you know about me?" Ngozi asked quietly. Hawa shook her head. "He said he traveled for work. Every month for 14 years, I thought he traveled for work." Ngozi sat down slowly. The shirts were still upstairs, half folded. Chukwuemeka was now on the phone, his voice low and urgent. Ngozi had seen this before at other people's tragedies, how fast a family could organize itself around property when grief was still fresh and documents were still unsigned. She looked at Hawa's daughter, who was perhaps 9 years old, and was staring at the floor with the focused expression of a child trying not to cry in a stranger's house. Ngozi had a daughter too, 8 years old, upstairs, asleep, unaware that her father had a whole other life that nobody had bothered to tell either of her mothers about. "Sit down," Ngozi said to Hawa. "Please." Hawa sat. The relatives kept talking. Chukwuemeka's voice got louder. Outside, the compound that Ngozi had planted flowers in, repainted twice and called home, was already becoming the estate in everyone's mouths. But for one moment, in the noise of it all, the two women looked at each other, across a dead man's lie, and understood something that would take months to become a decision, and years to become a life. They had the same enemy, and it was not each other.